everybody. My name is Frances Castendedice, President of the Houston Easton Chamber of Commerce, and it's an honor to welcome you to our COVID-19 business webinar. Today is May 19th, and we're very honored to have three leaders who are in the work of procurement. If you are on any kind of mailing list that receives these emails, you'll see that even though we are in COVID-19, business is happening at all locations. Construction is happening. It's an essential job, and the show must go on, as they say. So we're very honored to have three wonderful speakers to tell you about changes in procurement, bidding, terms, conditions, etc. And then we'll also have someone give you some information about our HUD departments. But our first person on here is going to be Gilda Ramirez. She is the Senior Director for Small Business and Education Outreach at Port of Houston. And then we're going to bring on Portia Jackson, who is the Business Development Manager for the Office of Business Opportunity at the City of Houston. And then we're going to have Dr. Linelle Clark, a Director of HUB Operations at the University of Houston. You're going to be inspired by some of the things that they're going to tell you about themselves, but you're also going to walk away with some knowledge on changes that are happening in the bidding world. And who knows, now that we're all reinventing ourselves, maybe this is an opportunity to you to start a business so that you can also be a part of this bidding process. So without further ado, it's my honor to introduce and welcome Gilda Ramirez to have her presentation. Gilda, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us, Frances. I wanted to just clarify that I am with the Port of Houston. However, I am the Director of Small Business Development, but I am going to share some of our changes in procurement with you all as well. So thank you for the opportunity. And on behalf of our commissioners, we want to thank you for allowing us to participate and for being a great partner. And I'm sorry, my little dog may bark. I'm trying to have her not do that. But I've been with the Port for 18 years now, and I oversee our small business program and our maritime education program. And with the schools being out, we are still working with our students, but we're doing things a little differently like everyone. One opportunity that I did want to share with everyone is that Wesley House has reached out to us, and they are looking for construction companies that their employees may need training. And so it's a good opportunity. If any of you would like to join, please contact me or anyone in our small business development group. We're going to have information on that on our website soon. So again, I've been with the Port 18 years. I'm the Senior Director of Small Business Development and Maritime Education, and I'm happy to be here today. We can go ahead and start my presentation, Frances.
I think here we go. Sometimes it takes a little while to change.
No worries. So again, we created our program in 2002 to provide additional opportunities for local small businesses. We have a very aggressive 35% goal, and our program, while it is officially applies to all contracts over $50,000, we do encourage and highly promote our program within our informals, which are any purchases or services under $50,000 as well. Our program is race and gender neutral. We are currently undergoing a disparity study, and that should be concluded by the end of the year. And any recommendations that the board agrees to will be implemented for our next year in 2021. And our program is restricted to local small businesses within the 8 counties surrounding Houston. And that's Harris, Montgomery, Waller, Brazoria, Fort Bend, Galveston, Chambers, and Liberty. So besides being a small business department, we also work very closely with other partners, such as the East End Chamber of Commerce. We are not a certifying agency, so we're a reciprocal agent, and we accept certifications from the City of Houston, Metro, Houston Minority Supplier Diversity Council, the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance, SBA, AA, South Texas Central Regional Certification Agency, State of Texas HUB Certification, and the Texas Department of Transportation. This year, as a way to start being more inclusive, and expand from just small business, we did start accepting the certifications from the Texas Central Region Certification Agency and Texas HUB and Department of Transportation. So we have seen a significant increase since we did add those 3 other certifying agencies. We offer lots of training and development. We have university. We have in Port University about a 5-week program. We our participants have the opportunity to meet with our head departments, our leadership, and they find out things. They're exposed to our procurement process, our legal department, the contracting, engineering, environmental, real estate. And so we have lots of heads of different departments come in and talk to everyone. There's usually 30 people in the Port University class. So we have a cohort of 35. They do have a graduation. So it is really nice opportunity. It also gives small businesses an opportunity to network with other small businesses and mentor opportunities for them as well. We have the Interagency Mentor Protege Program, which is a collaboration of several agencies, including Metro, the City of Houston, Houston Community College, HISD, Houston First. And that is a great program. We select mentors and match them with proteges. And we always have about 150 or so applications, and we only select 40. So the competition is pretty strong on that program, but it is a great program. And their graduation is actually held aboard the MV Sam Houston. And so we're hoping that we can do that again in the future. We host industry-specific forums. Most of those are held at our building, but we do partner with others such as Houston Community College, Southeast, and the Central Campus. We've held them at the Metro offices as well. And we do them in Pasadena and also in Galena Park and other areas of town as well. And those are specific to particular industry needs. For example, if we have an environmental project that's coming up, we will do it based on our environmental upcoming projects, and our director of environmental will be there. If it's maintenance, then same thing. You know, we've done them for safety, for maintenance, for environmental, for public relations. So it's just whatever we have needs for at the time. And something that's really, really popular and that we're going to have to do a little bit differently now with COVID is our one-on-one meetings with small business firms through local chambers of commerce and other business development organizations. Those are extremely popular. We have an opportunity to meet with small businesses one-on-one. We are going to continue that, but we will be doing that via webinars instead of face-to-face until we can resume back to normal, whatever that might be. So on the COVID-19 Houston Procurement Procedures, we did make some changes, and all bids and proposal responses for formal procurements can now be submitted via email, and the address is shown, and bids and proposal openings for competitive sealed proposals for formal procurements will be conducted via WebEx. So again, a major change, and we are looking at continuing that even once we go back to work, which we're looking at possibly in June. The port is up and running. All of our essential workers, we have about 400 workers on site that are moving all of the products and our cargo across the docks, and they're working very, very hard right now. And so those of us that are working from home should be going back to the office soon. We have over 1,200 small businesses enrolled in our program. And as I mentioned, these numbers are from the end of 2019, but we are very proud of our numbers. We had over $560 million awarded to local small businesses. That's awards since 2002, making our overall participation rate 37%. Last year, we had 96 newly enrolled small businesses, and there's a breakdown of the various types of small businesses that enrolled in our program. And to date, actually this is an updated number, to date, or no, this, I'm sorry, we had 140 external activities and reached over 4,500 businesses in the region for the last quarter. Next slide. I mentioned the disparity study. We are in the midst of a disparity study. We conducted 2 public hearings via via Zoom last week. And our Griffin and Strong is our consultant, and they conducted the meetings for us. I only made opening remarks, and we did let the vendor participate with all of the participants, and we did hear lots of things about our program. We wanted to allow for open participation and people to be able to express anything they would like to see changed in our existing program and improvements as well. And so I'm not going to go through these, but you'll see the key milestones and our target dates. So we're already, we currently have been collecting the data. Interviews have been conducted, surveys are being done. We did hold the 2 public hearings. We have another public hearing scheduled for June 17th. And that will be the last webinar public hearing. If possible, we will be having a in-person public hearing, again, all dependent on COVID, and then recommendations will be made to the board in August. So we also, through our own department, have provided our small businesses some resources on our website, and you can go to the link provided, and that is our resources toolkit, and there's lots of information there for our small businesses on what others are doing. And then there are other public procurement opportunities available, and they are listed. We offer technical assistance. As I mentioned, we work with the University of Houston Small Business Development Center. We also work with the University of Houston Procurement Technical Assistance Center and Service Corps of Retired Executive Engineers. And then we work with HSMDC, they're one of our partners, WBEA, and Houston Minority Supplier Diversity Council. So COVID-19, as I mentioned, all of the information that's listed is shared on our resource link. And then we have our workforce safety. We always have 1 or 2 events throughout the year that promote safety, because safety is very important at the Port of Houston, and we partner with OSHA on that. This is a list of our upcoming solicitations. And so these are the solicitations that are listed now on our website, and you can see there are lots of opportunities. And if you have any questions, you can contact procurement, or you can submit a question, because once something is out, then small business is not allowed to communicate directly with vendors, but you can submit your questions through the through the website. Next slide. Is that it? Okay. I think that concludes our presentation. So thank you all for the opportunity. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all. Take any questions if you have any.
Yes, and thank you so much, Gilda. And also on our website, we'll have this PowerPoint with all the links that you talked about. And thank you for the changes that are happening. But I just wanted to say, what are the changes in training or have you had so far? I know that we do one-on-ones, and we're going to probably do those via Zoom on a virtual basis. But do you know of any training tips that you can share with the group right now?
Well, I think Portia also mentioned that they are developing their training to go to webinars, and we're going to be doing that as well. We're scheduled for July to start some of our training formally through our public affairs group, but we're going to start before then just with smaller groups and do some test runs and figure out what's working best and what people want to hear. We did put out a survey and we did get some feedback on what people are needing and if people are actually at full capacity, what their capabilities are. So we do have that information, and we'll be building around that.
Thank you. And then we've had another question is, how long is the process to get registered to do business with the port?
For us, we can get it done in one day. It's the, again, we are a reciprocal agency, and we accept certifications from Metro, the City of Houston, WBA, HSMDC, SBA, and I mentioned TxDOT and the other two new certifying agencies. So each of them have their own process. I think right now with COVID, it's taking at least a month with all of them, but I can't speak for them right now.
No,
I
that's
don't know
great.
what their exact process is.
No worries, no worries. And I know that we don't have your contact information right there, but we'll have it on the PowerPoint. But can you share with us your email address real quick, Gilda, or who they should contact in regards to signing up for anything?
Sure, of course. It's G Ramirez, RAMIREZ at porthouston.com. So G Ramirez at porthouston.com. And my phone number is 713-670-2590.
Great. Thank you so much, Gilda. And now it's my honor to introduce you to Portia Jackson, who is with, again, the City of Houston Business of Opportunity. Thank you so much, Portia, for being here. And as we talked earlier, I see you're in the office and most of us are working from home. So thank you for being there and supporting us.
Yes, thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. I'm Portia Jackson, the Business Development Manager with the Office of Business Opportunity here at the City of Houston. And I'm glad to be here to talk to you about procurement and what's going on in the City of Houston. Next slide. Today, I'm going to give you some background about OBO, talk about the changes in our procurement process and doing business with the City of Houston, and go over some contract rewards and give you, as a resource, some current bidding opportunities that are available. For Office of Business Opportunity, we're basically an advocate for all small businesses, especially those that have been historically underutilized. And so our goal is to make sure that everyone is on the same playing field and has the opportunity to not only do business in the City of Houston, but also business with the City of Houston. Next slide. So our office has basically 4 main components: our OBO Solutions Center, which is a resource center for anyone who has small business questions. How do we get permits? How do we get funding? The OBO Solutions Center handles that. Business development programming is our capacity building programs and information that we have to help you grow your business. And then we have certification, which is our main component. If you are looking to be certified and definitely to take part in the contracts that have citywide goals on it, our certification department issues out those certifications in minority, women, small persons with disabilities, and also disadvantaged business enterprises and airport concessions as well. And then the 4th piece is our contract compliance department, who makes sure that all the contracts at the city that have the goals on it are in compliance with that. Next slide. So I wanted to just give you this chart about certification, because a lot of people think work with the city is just construction based. But this will give you an idea of the different industries that are that do business with the City of Houston and are certified. And this is from our fiscal year 2019. And you can see there's about 3,600 firms that we have certified. This year, fiscal year 2020 that we're currently in, we are already at 3,900 firms that are certified in various industries. So again, if you're not certified, I want to encourage you to do that, to take advantage of the opportunities that are available here at the city. And then this slide gives you some information about our business development programming. We have one-on-one counseling and coaching, contract opportunities, and I want to just highlight quickly bullet number 3, Build Up Houston, our Accelerate Latinx programs, which are business building capacity programs. They have a graduation tonight, and we're going to be broadcasting that on Facebook Live at Houston OBO. So definitely check that out. And if you're interested in learning how you can move from being a subcontractor to a prime contractor, our programs are designed to do that. Next slide. So doing business with the City of Houston, I put a little mark there. Thanks, COVID. Because of COVID now, we are having our pre-bid conferences. They're all done online or either via conference call. And that's one of the major changes that we've had in the process of doing business with the City of Houston. Also, we've had an increase in our emergency and spot purchasing. And so we're moving more towards, a lot of purchases have come from PPE, relief assistance, and emergency and as needed. Everything else as far as doing business with the City of Houston has stayed the same as far as our vendor registration, our goals, bidding process, and contract compliance. So I'm going to walk you through how to be registered as a city vendor. I just want to point out that doing business with the City of Houston, you do not have to be a certified firm. The certification comes into play when you want to take advantage of being counted on the as a subcontractor on the large contracts that have goals. Other than that, anyone can be a vendor at the City of Houston. You can just go to our purchasing website. This website is monitored by our Strategic Procurement Division, which is the source of all of our contracts that handles and process all of our bids and contracts and proposals. You can go to their website there, register as a vendor. There'll be a blue box there. It'll say new users. You'll click on that. You create an account page where you're going to fill out your vendor profile as far as your company name, your name, email address, information like that. And then you're going to scan in a W-9 form. It'll take approximately about a week, and then you'll be registered as a vendor for the City of Houston. It's all free, and it can be done quickly. And if you have any questions on your profile or any information you need to change after you submit it, you can just go to that website down there below on the slide, Houston Purchasing at houstontx.gov, and be able to change your information from there. The next slide. And so I wanted to show you the citywide goals we have. So for construction, we're looking at 34%. For MWBE, NWSBE, I'll just say it all in one term. Purchasing or supplying 11%, professional services 24%, and persons with disabilities 1%. These are our common goals. Sometimes they can fluctuate and change depending on what the contract is for, but these are pretty much our standard and common goals. Next slide. So as far as the bidding and searching process, all of our bids, so we're looking at construction over $1 million and goods and services over 100,000. Those are all going to go up for public bidding. And when you complete your profile that I just explained, they're going to ask for NIGP codes. I encourage you, every aspect of your business, put in the correct code, because based on the code that you put in, you will get notified when there are opportunities, bidding opportunities based on the code that you put in. So if you do landscaping, just don't put you do mowing lawns, but put all the different things that you want, because what you want to do is expand your opportunity. Don't limit yourself, but make sure you put all the codes that apply to what you do and what you can do. And so that's one way that you'll get information about bids. Also, our office has an e-blast that comes out every Monday, and that will let you know all the bids that are up, that are available for the City of Houston and our local partners as well. And I'll have my contact information at the end, and you can send me your company name and information if you want to receive our e-blast. You can also check the Houston Business Journal, and some city departments, our larger ones, our Public Works, our General Service Department, and our airport, they will also have put out their own bids on their individual web pages as well. So once you find a bid that you're interested in, go back to the previous slide for me. Once you find a bid that you are interested in, then you want to attend the pre-bidding conference or meeting. And again, those are now online or via conference call, and that information will be there when you're looking at the bid. And you want to attend that. It's very important that you are really, if you think that you can be the prime contractor, you want to be there to network, to see the subcontractors that are interested in it, because as you are preparing your bid, you do have to list the subcontracting companies that you are going to have to help complete the contract. And if you're a subcontractor, it's really important for you to go and to network with the prime contractors so that you can be listed on their on their bid, on their proposal. And then you see there, the other two bullets are the awarding policy, which is by Texas law. We basically look for the lowest bid, but lowest qualified bid. And then you have the payment process. Next slide. And so for the City of Houston, this is really important to give you an idea of the amount of contracts that we have. This is the progression from 2017 to 2019. And you can see fiscal year 2019, we awarded over $2.4 billion. And of that, 575 million were to certified firms. And I have some updated numbers for you. Look through my little notes here. For the fiscal year 2020 that we're currently in, for the first half of it, from July 19 to December 19, we were at $2.2 billion. And of that $2.2 billion of awards, 487 million were awarded to certified firms. So we are going to exceed our fiscal year 2019 numbers. So definitely, we want to let you know that there is opportunity at the City of Houston for you. Next slide, please. And here, this gives you, and this is our 2020 numbers for the first half, fiscal year 2020, to give you an idea of what goes to prime contractors and what goes to subcontractors. And just to point out, some folks think because they're a certified firm, they'll always be a subcontractor. No. That's what our business development programs are for, is to get you to move you from subcontracting so that you can be a prime contractor. Remember, our office is here to be an advocate for you and to help you to grow your business and to do business with the City of Houston and other governmental agencies throughout Texas. But this is a good chart to look at and inspirational, really, to see those things and what's being awarded. And then so that last one, the PO or P card, for the contracts that don't go up for bid, that are not large, then you can contact the departments directly, the buyers there, and to offer your services, because they don't have, if it's lower than a certain amount, lower than 100,000, and lower for the goods and services, and less than $1 million for the construction, then it does not have to go up for a public bid. And so it's about the relationships that you build with the departments. It's about the relationships you build with other contractors that helps you to succeed as well. Next slide. And this is just information about the current bidding opportunities that are available at the City of Houston. And you can kind of see the various industries that will be needed for what's to fulfill these contracts. Again, this is the kind of information that we send out in our e-blast to kind of give you an idea of what's available and for you to go and to bid on it. And again, you can just contact me if you're interested in getting our e-blast, if you're not already doing that, and know that I am here as a resource to help you and to answer any questions and to help you to navigate through doing business with the City of Houston and in the City of Houston. And I think that's, oh, the recap, forgot about this slide. The takeaways are, the City of Houston is open for business. I do want to reiterate that you begin in this time of COVID to assess and forecast your business capability and services, because a lot of businesses we've seen that what they are offering now is not being purchased. So think about how can you repurpose your business and what you offer to apply to what's being asked for and what's being needed and what's being purchased now. That's very, very important. We've had several companies that may have gone into, they were in retail, and now they're looking at ways that they can offer PPE equipment, or they can tailor their business and switch their goods and services in their inventory to apply what's needed now. Also, remember to register as a vendor with the City of Houston. Anybody that does business with the city has to be a registered vendor, and we walk through that process, and it's a real simple and painless process. Remember to search and bid, definitely get certified, and you want to start that process now if you're not certified. And remember to network with government agencies and your peer business owners as well, because that's where the opportunity is going to come when you have that support network and you're able to rely on each other and collaborate and go after city contracts.
This is great information, Portia.
Yes, then there's my information. And again, if you have any questions, I am, whether today or later on, if you think about it, please reach out and contact me. That's what I'm here for.
We're going to keep this slide up for a little while so people can write down your information. But I wanted to ask you a couple of questions before we go to the next presentation. So one question that the viewer had is, what is the biggest hurdle small business face as first-time applicants with the City of Houston?
For the vendor profile or for the certification?
Let's go to certification.
Is not having all their information together. And the largest hurdle is that we ask for documents, tax documents, and regular documents for your business. And a lot of times people don't keep those documents in one spot. And so when you don't have all your documents together and when you apply for it, if you're missing documents, that will slow the process down because we can't move you forward to the next step unless you have those documents. So and we have a lot of people applying for a certification. So it's very important that you keep your documents together and have them so that you can go through seamlessly.
I guess, you know, with people applying for the PPP loan and also the EIDL loan, this is a chance for them to have all those documents together anyhow. So now that if they had that, it may be easier for them to apply and be certified.
Yes, exactly. Now's the time.
Great. And then our last question before we go to the next person is there a minimum number of years a company should be in business before working with the city?
No, there's no set number. We basically are looking at if you're able to do the job, really. And so, and even with our certification, there are other sort of certifying firms that require like a year or 2 or 3 years to be in business. We don't have that requirement. It's if you are able to prove that you are a business and that you are able to operate in your business and perform the job, that's what we're looking at.
Great. Thank you so much, Portia. I know you're going to stay on because we're going to bring everybody back on, but we've got Gilda back on the line and we're going to have her presentation come up. And in the meantime, while we're making that switch, again, we wanted to remind you that please call Portia, get an appointment with her. They're real people. They do reply to phone calls. They do reply to emails. They're here to help. So please reach out to Portia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gilda. And we're going to bring back everybody in a second, but now we're going to get ready for our finals presenter, Dr. Clark. Boy, that picture looks so gorgeous. The sun looks like it's that pretty today. But I'm going to see your face in a couple of minutes, Dr. Clark. But it's an honor to welcome you to speak to our audience today in this new normal and virtual webinars. And so I wanted to make sure that we gave you the opportunity. I don't see your face yet, but I know it's coming soon. There you are.
There we go.
Good to see you.
Okay.
Thanks for being here. You can say something about yourself and then go right into your presentation.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let me first say that I'm very excited to be in this new role as the HUB director for the University of Houston. I was originally recruited to the university to raise money for our STEM colleges. So I've actually been with U of H for 2 years, but in this role, I'm just going full circle. I've been in the HUB world for over 10 years in my prior experiences. So there you go.
Wonderful.
So thank you. I want to take this opportunity to share with our listeners and viewers the fact that the university has moved to established a new HUB database. And the reason for that is we have 16 academic colleges, not including when we talk about our individual divisions and departments within those colleges that do purchasing. So all purchasing isn't construction related. We do an array of purchasing. We do an array of purchasing that doesn't require formal bids. So we have informal bids and we have what we call spot bids, where the colleges under a certain amount can just award for best value to a vendor, to a HUB vendor. What was shared with the colleges that we responded to within my first year was meeting with the colleges. I spent more time meeting with the colleges to determine what were some of the areas that we could improve on to help motivate them even more to reach out to HUB vendors. And one of the things that became clear was that they really wanted to have something that was very simple that they could go to in terms of a database, and that they can identify vendors who actually wanted to work with the university. So we are rolling that out. We have had, like anything related to technology, some glitches. So if you attempted to, if you've experienced that as a vendor, please accept my apology. We are making those corrections. We have hopefully caught all of those glitches, but again, I cross my fingers because it's technology. So again, one of the benefits, everyone, you don't have to be on the CMBL. You just have to be HUB certified. So Dale, in terms of creating that vendor profile, I'll go next slide, please. So let's get started. What are the elements? So again, I'm so glad that the PowerPoint will be posted, because I realize now it's difficult to see this long link, but one can also just Google HUB Operations, and we also have a link to the database and the manual on how to complete the vendor profile, also on our main webpage. If we can go back one, please, back to previous slide. One of the key things I want to point out though with the system is that in the procedure, because some people just skip over reading the procedures, I get it, because it seems self-intuitive in terms of completing the profile. Keep in mind that you have to complete it within 24, I say roughly 24 minutes. It's like 8 pages, it's not long, because we weren't able to create a system where you could save it, because I wasn't paying someone to actually create the system for me. It was another department that we begged, pleaded, and worked with us. So you have to be careful what you ask for. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't automatically save. Next slide, please. So on here, the key information is that all of this is general information. We will ask for everything, before you can go to the next page, everything must be entered. The opportunity to upload your HUB certification is there, so that is a requirement. So please make certain that you do that. And if your HUB expiration occurs within 30 days, mind you, even though you submit your profile, it has to be approved. We won't approve it if your HUB certification is coming to an end within 30 days or less, as well as if there's some error in terms of the HUB certification information that's uploaded does not match with what you entered. We will contact you and let you know why your vendor profile was denied, and offer an opportunity to make correction. Next slide, please. On here, the key thing is the security pin. That is a security pin that the vendor would create. We don't create that for you, so please create something that works for you. We do that for security reasons, so that if you contact someone within my office to make a change, because changes typically have to be made by our staff. You cannot go back in and make the changes. We will assist you with changes. We will ask, we will have to be able to, again, identify, match with a security pin. Next slide. And again, it's general information that one is probably familiar with anytime you're setting up yourself to be where you're looking for work and someone wants to know information, like especially our colleges want to know, do you accept credit cards? That's, again, for a spot bid purchases, that's typically what they will use. They will use their own college provided credit card to do that. Next slide. On this slide, when you select, for example, if you have a DIR contract, it will, well, for all of these, whatever you select, if it's applicable, it will provide a space for you to put in the contract number. So that's important that you make certain that you put that in. It was brought to our attention when we piloted the program that several people had more than one DIR contract. So there is an opportunity to put in multiple contract information. And there's also that option to use the other co-op, and you can put in DIR or whatever else, and then the applicable contract number. Next slide. This is what is different for our database that people found that was very important, was to provide references. And please make certain you provide not just the business name, but also the contact person. And it's especially important if you've done some work with another university, with any of our university staff, if you have their approval to list them as a reference. So we require that a minimum of 3 with a maximum of 5. Next slide. Here you have an opportunity to, a vendor can upload their business profile. This is especially important since when you go for the drop-down list to identify the services you provide, the maximum that you can enter are 3. And so this has an opportunity, this gives you an opportunity to identify other work that you do. And we just ask, keep it simple, because keep in mind, a lot, when our colleges and staff are looking, they don't have a lot of time. And so the more simplistic it is, so in other words, if you give them a dictionary, trust, they will not read it. So again, 1 page, 2 page, that works. So once you enter all of your information within those 24 minutes or less, you must remember to hit the exit profile. We will review, you'll get a response back that we received it and the status of your profile within 5 to 7 business days. So.
This is really good. So Dr. Clark, this is a new system that you and the University of Houston have started. And for those of you out there listening, there's a ton of departments at the University of Houston campus who do have different buckets of budgets for spending. So I highly recommend everyone to go to that link, which we will put on our website, and start the process of creating your profile, because will they also be given information of who's looking for items, things like that, notices of that sort?
Typically, no. If it is a formal bid, we will post formal bids on the electronic daily, ESPD, state business daily. But for our spot purchases and for informal, there's no notification other than they look for the vendor. They will, if they have trouble, they will contact my office, but that's why we're setting up the database, because they outnumber us. And so we want to make certain that we provide them with the proper training so that they can go into the system and it's very intuitive for faculty to use, so that they can just find vendors who, again, are interested in doing work and providing the services specifically that they're looking for.
All right, so again, spot bidding is something that everyone should create a profile for, because the amount of money that can be spent is, again, $0 to how much again, Dr. Clark?
They can spend, I believe, up to $5,000, and again, even for informal bids, they can spend high. You have to have, for the informal bids, you have to have at least 3 vendors, 2 of which must be hubs. So those are a little bit, they're less than 25,000, but they're higher than the 5,000 threshold.
Great. So this is a new thing for everyone to do. And I'm just excited that you guys are offering this and making it simple for everyone else. I have a question here is, what are the top 5 bids or industries would you say that are using this program? Or that they're that you are in greatest need for us to get registered?
It is difficult to say right now because COVID has turned everything upside down. I will say that if anyone is right now, you can just contact me directly that provides PPE. We are developing just a list of providers. because we have a task force, we haven't identified specifically what is needed to be purchased or how that purchase is going to occur, whether it's going to be done by each individual college, whether we're going to purchase for the entire university. All of those decisions are still being talked about, as well as what we really need in terms of PPE. So I would say, even when we make a decision there, just from the state of things, that I suspect that we will continue to have a need for anything that falls within PPE. We have a College of Medicine opening up. So we definitely need any type of medical related items. We have medicine, we have nursing, we have our Hilton College, which just opened up again, our hotel rather, opened up on Monday. We have the Hilton College. So we need a lot of our research areas. They're doing a lot of research. So again, the PPE, different types of chemicals and compounds.
Right. Well, now
so it's all over the place.
Yes. So just make sure that you create a profile so that you can be noticed.
Correct.
Is the good one. So we're going to bring back Portia and Gilda and ask the group a couple of questions. And please feel free, if you do have a question, to list it in our Q&A. But I wanted to start by, again, thanking you all for being here. And Gilda, I wanted to read a comment that Paula Mendoza left, and she said that I would like to thank Gilda for all that she is doing for small businesses, not only at the port, but in the city. She has been a tireless advocate for us small businesses, and it's true. So thank you, Gilda, for that. And I think you're on mute, so you may have to take that off. But I know that there's a lot of money out there, and even though there's PPP loans, EIDL loans, the city, the port, and the university still have funds in order to keep your businesses going. And so that's inspiring to me, that, again, $560 million awarded from the port, and then the city has almost $2.2 billion that they're spending. So that's really good news. Is there any kind of other information, and we'll start with you, Gilda, or any tips and advice that we may not have covered so far that these small businesses should do right now?
Well, I think you asked one of the questions that I just want to elaborate a little bit on, and that is the type of work that's needed. Primarily, we work with construction companies. That's the majority of our dollars spent. But also, we do everything from office supplies, catering, architectural design, engineering. Of course, architects and engineering are exempt from our program through statute, but we do encourage and promote small business participation. So there are many, many opportunities to do business with the Port Authority, and we're always here for you. I'm sure most of you know the Pedros, and they do our outreach and our training for us, and they do a great job. So I want to give them a shout out. And then we do have Natasha Ainsworth is our certification specialist. And if you have any questions regarding certification, you can reach out to her. She can help with that. It does take a little bit of time. So if you are not certified, please start that process with some of our other partnering agencies. And one other person mentioned that we're all having to be creative and resourceful, and things, technology is great when it works. And as you all saw with me, it didn't work today, which kind of threw me all off. And so I just was texting my admin and saying, yeah, I'm not doing this from home anymore. I'm going into the office. So anyway, I appreciate the time. And I think that one of the things that I've told, for example, our graphics and signage people, you know, you're not going to probably have a need for "we're open for business" or a sign like that, but you would probably be very, you know, have a great opportunity for COVID, you know, please keep your distance, that kind of signage. So people need to be creative and in some instances recreate yourself during this time, you know, temporarily, so that you have other opportunities. I know everyone is selling masks and other things, but you know, I thought of, and I shared this with my boss because he knows somebody that's in the exhibit area. You know, there are companies, I read about one company in Japan particularly that is in such high demand because they're going in and outfitting all buildings for people to start coming in. So what a great way to transition your company. Of course, not everyone can do that, but I hope that everyone is doing well and that the stimulus has helped our small businesses. I know Francis and several other of the agencies have been very active in promoting that. So thank you all for doing that.
You're welcome. And Portia, anything that we're missing that some of the small businesses should do immediately?
I think pretty much Gilda hit it all, and really just begin to and just to add to what she is saying, it's very important to begin to assess your capabilities and what you're able to do, and also to continue to network. We may not be able to do it face to face, but with doing it virtually, you can multitask. So, you know, build those relationships because that's important, and just really just stay on top of what you're doing and what's going on with COVID, and be able to anticipate the needs that may be coming up as a result of this, and really strengthen your social media for business, and strengthen your network.
That's good. And those are great tips, because I'm going on online, and a lot of folks don't have their websites, you know, up to date, and or their Facebook social media pages. So thank you for that tip. Dr. Clark, any other tips that we didn't say that you thought of that you'd like to share with our small businesses?
Yes, one of the tips that I would share is, if our college reaches out to you, even if you can't respond in terms of providing that bid, well, when they reach out, they really want something very quickly. Please be realistic, respond back to them. At least say, well, I need at least 48 hours or whatever it is that you need, but respond. Because the worst thing that can happen is for one of our business administrators reach out for a bid, and then they hear nothing from you. And trust, they keep that in the back of their mind, like most people, and they may not come back to you. I can't say that would happen, but I'm just saying in terms of just human nature. And so, again, it's better to just respond and say, yes, I received your request. I'm going to get back with you, but can you give me a couple of hours? Can you give me 8 hours? Can you give me, and they'll either say yes, no, or when they need it. And then be honest if you can provide a response within that time frame.
And then Dr. Clark, someone is asking for your contact information. Can you share your email address, please?
Yes, it's F, it's in Frank, flclark-brown@uh.edu.
And then again, my email address is on my picture. If you email me, didn't get that, I can also send that to you immediately. And then I've got another couple of questions for everyone. Are you seeing a bid requiring certain COVID allowances? And I'm not sure if there's any kind of new things that you have, and or are you seeing that businesses that may have gotten a PPP or an EIDL, any kind of certain changes that's going to affect in their getting a bid or not? Gilda, we'll start with you.
I did see on the news yesterday that several different businesses are starting to charge, especially in the service industry, and an increase, and they're calling it a COVID surcharge. And you know, it's ranging, it's incorporating the cost of the additional cleaning, the masks, and things like that. So I think that will be common, you know, in the next few months. We have not made any changes to any of our existing contracts, but I think that is a really good area for us, you know, all as partners to review together and make a decision, because inevitably there are going to be additional costs. I know for us at the port, just cleaning our building on a weekly basis, not that we weren't cleaning it, but I mean disinfecting it because we clean it on a daily basis, but we are disinfecting now on a weekly basis, and that is, you know, caused a significant increase in our budget. And then also just all of the other, you know, the masks and gloves. And I also saw one company yesterday that said that they were going through, you know, gallons of sanitizing, the hand sanitizer. So I do think that we will see an increase in cost to, you know, accommodate COVID.
Right. Portia, any changes you've seen so far?
Not for us, in particular at the city, regarding that, but It's
could
taking
come
day by day.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And then I've got a final question for everyone is, how have you personally been managing with home life and work life during COVID-19? And Dr. Clark, we'll start with you.
I'm just so grateful it's just me and the dogs. I laugh and I have a good community, because I will say, as I mentioned, and I'll share anytime, I had experienced all of the symptoms, and I was sick, and my apartment community came to my aid. I teased them, they left food outside of my door, and I told them if I would step out there and there are flowers, this is not a repast, people, stop it. At one point I opened the door and everything fell in. So I am just happy to be able to get through a video finally without coughing up a lung. So I'm happy.
Thank you. Portia?
I just really look for the silver lining in everything. So this has really been a cost savings for me. I have nowhere to go to spend my money, but I've been truly blessed, and I kind of like staying from home, working from home and staying home in the house. So we're alternating from home and office. So it's been, I kind of like it.
I know, me too. And Gilda?
Well, I think because I'm such an A-type personality and an extrovert, I am having a little bit of difficulty staying inside. Now, my little dog, who you all heard multiple times today, has gotten even more spoiled than she was. And so it's going to be hard. I do think that it has brought a new appreciation for parents having to be able to teach their kids and work and, keep their home. So I definitely want to support them in any way that we can. But it's been good. I've gotten a lot more rest than I usually do, and I have saved some money as well, because we don't have anywhere to go. We don't have, although I will say I have been getting a lot of boxes from internet shopping. Most of them are returns, but still.
Great. Well, thank you, ladies, again so very much. I want to remind everybody that we've created an East End Strong Facebook group page and sharing businesses that are open that need your support. So remember to shop local and help us keep our East End strong. And again, you'll be able to see this t-shirt for sale on our website, designed by us in order to remind everyone that we are together East End strong. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Thank you, Francis, so much. Bye-bye.